Hey everyone, I'm Mike from theparkprodigy.com, and on today's video we are going to break down some of the hidden costs when planning a Disney World vacation. We all know planning a Disney vacation is expensive in itself, but we have noticed lately that some families visiting the most magical place on earth aren't aware of certain hidden costs that might be new to planning a Disney vacation, and that's why we decided to create this video. So let's go get started. Thank you all again so much for checking out this video. Like I said, we are about to break down some of the most popular hidden costs when planning a Disney World vacation. These are typically costs that you aren't aware of or that might pop up on your trip that you might not have budgeted for, which can be a problem if you're trying to keep costs down. And of course, that's the main reason why we did create this video, just so you are as prepared as possible for your next Disney World vacation. So if you are in the process of planning the vacation, and if you are in the process of trying to come up with that Disney World budget for your trip, you're going to be wanting to stick around till the end of this video, and hopefully we can fill you in on a thing or two just to make sure you are as prepared as possible for your next Disney World vacation. Starting with number one, we do have parking fees. Now, if you drive or rent your own car, you will have to pay for parking at any of the Disney resorts. Now, these are the Disney World hotels specifically, and there is a daily parking fee at every on-site resort. But the cool side to this is if you are paying for that parking at the Disney resort, you will then not have to pay for parking as you go over to the theme parks. And so at the time of the recording of this video, the nightly parking over at the Disney resorts are for Disney Value Resorts, it is $15 per night. For Disney Moderate Resorts, it is $20 per night. And for Disney Deluxe Resorts, it is $25 per night. And it is, of course, important for us to mention that if you're not staying at a Walt Disney World hotel, you will have to pay for parking at all of the Disney theme parks. The cost of parking as of the time of the recording of this video is standard parking for a car or motorcycle is $25 per day. Preferred parking for a car or motorcycle is $45 to $50 per day. And then the oversized vehicles such as shuttles, limos, camper trailers, RV, bus, or tractor trailers is $30 per day. And I definitely want to be included with the group that's taking the limo over to Disney. But if you are renting DVC points, you do get free parking, so that is something to keep in mind. And again, the other important thing to also keep in mind is if you pay for parking, let's say at Magic Kingdom, make sure you keep your receipt, because you then will have parking if you do decide to park hop over to one of the other parks. It's not per theme park, it's per day really. Okay, so that is number one and probably one of the most popular ones. Moving over to number two, and this is again has to do with Disney World hotels, and there is an authorization hold. And this has to do really with when you're checking into your Walt Disney World hotel. There is a $100 hold on your credit card for the room for incidentals. Now, it is like a deposit, and if you don't charge anything to your room, or if you have no damage as you check out, you'll be getting that money back, of course, but we just want to make sure that you are aware that they will have a $100 hold as you check in. Okay, so moving along the list, and we do have transportation. Now, Disney no longer has that free bus transportation from the Orlando International Airport to the Disney World hotels. And of course, if you have visited Walt Disney World in your past, then you know prior to 2021, Disney did have the Magical Express, which was free. But now guests do have to figure out a way to get to and from the airport, and you do have to budget that in to your vacation. Now, there are a couple different ways, but just from us speaking with, a lot of our clients, we feel that these are probably the most popular. And of course, we do have the standard Uber or Lyft, which typically will range between $40 to $50 to take you from the airport to your Disney hotel. And then again, another $40 to $50 to take you from your Disney hotel back to the airport. And then the other transportation that kind of came in to replace the Disney Magical Express is the Mir shuttle. And this is going to be around $32 round trip per adult, and then $27 round trip for kids. Now, of course, it's important to note that kind of, on the reverse of the topic of this video is once you do figure out how to get from the airport to the Disney hotel, transportation now to and from, those theme parks is definitely still free. So that's very important to keep in mind. Okay, so moving down the list, and we do have package and handling fees. And did you know that guests staying at a Walt Disney World hotel can receive mail throughout their stay? Now, occasionally some guests choose to ship items in advance of their vacation to save on that luggage space. And if you do intend to receive mail during your vacation, be sure that the letter or package includes a mailing address of your Disney Resort hotel, and then clearly features the word guest on the front and the date of your arrival. Now, please note that a $6 per package handling fee will apply to all packages that are received through the front desk or are delivered to your Disney Resort hotel room. Okay, so moving along the list, and the next one we have here is tipping. Now, I'm from New York. I know this is like a controversial topic. We pretty much tip everyone in New York. I mean, if you know, it's just the kind of the way we were brought up. You know, everyone has a guy and everyone's taking care of someone and then they take care of you. It really is just the way of life. And I would just say in general, right, be sure that you're prepared to tip. Now, if you're visiting Walt Disney World, you most likely have at least one sit-down restaurant reservation or staying at a Disney World's hotel. Now, the mousekeeping service at your resort and the servers at the Walt Disney World resort restaurants will need to be tipped throughout your stay. And where this is really, really important is for those parties that are 6 or more guests over at the restaurants, there is automatically an 18% gratuity that will be added to your bill. And I would just say in general, you know, the cast members really are going above and beyond. The cast members are what make Disney kind of what it is. They really create the magic. When you do get that great experience, just be sure to tip, you know, whoever you seem fit. Okay, next that's coming in, and this is something that's even off property, but we just thought it was very, very important to kind of bring up, and this is toll roads. Now, if you're choosing to rent your own vehicle to get to and around Orlando, you should know that there are tolls on all major highways to and from the airport. So if you do have some extra change, you can be sure to pack that, as it will cost right around $10 to $20 in tolls, depending on how much you're driving. It's also important to note that you can also get a visitor toll pass, which can hang in your rental car and save you a little bit of money on those discounted tolls. Okay, moving along the list, and another important thing is cancellation and no-show fees. Now, Disney World does charge its guests for missed dining and hotel reservations if guests do not cancel within a certain period of time. And of course, single one hotel rooms can be canceled up to 5 days in advance for just a room, but packages are different, and right now guests do need to cancel their vacation package 30 days out to get all of their money back. Anything within 30 to 7 days, you'll only have to pay a $200 cancellation fee. And it's also important to keep in mind, specifically, I would say this is the bigger subject for those dining reservations. Now, you do have to cancel all dining reservations 24 hours in advance, or you will be charged $10 per person for that no-show dining reservation. And then there's a couple other important ones on here, but the most important is going to be Savi's, which is the lightsaber workshop over at Disney's Hollywood Studios. And you do have until the day before, again, 24 hours to cancel your reservation, or you will be charged a $200 fee. And then last but not least, everyone, if you do have some of those prepaid meals, such as Cinderella's Royal Table, right, where you had to prepay up front, if you don't cancel that, you will be on the hook for the full amount of the prepaid meal. So that could be a couple $100s in a lot of these situations. Okay, so keeping the list going, and over to PhotoPass. Now, these are the in-ride photos and special photos around the parks. Now, in previous years, this could be a free perk with certain annual passes, but now it is an added charge for everyone looking to keep their Disney photos forever. The pricing as of the time of the recording of this video is Memory Maker for 1 day is $69, in advance for your whole trip is $169, and then individual copies within the parks are typically $16.95. And one of the reasons why it's also important to know the pricing going in is if you prepay, right, you're going to get a little bit of a discount. If you decide, Disney, of course, is not going to tell you no once you get home if you do want to take advantage of those photos within a certain amount of time. But if you do decide that you upgrade once you get home, it's going to cost you an extra $30 on top of the $169 for the entire trip. So make sure you kind of think about this in advance, and we highly recommend to pre-purchase the PhotoPass if that's something that does sound like it's something you'll want to take those memories home. Okay, moving over to the next one, and this, of course, this is another very important topic, and we have pet boarding or care. Now, if you're bringing a pet with you, you will be required to board them unless you are staying at one of the 4 out of 26 pet-friendly Disney hotels. And those pet-friendly hotels are the Disney's Yacht Club, the Disney Port Orleans Resort, Disney's Art of Animation, and the cabins at Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort and Campground. And the range of the hotels to bring your pet along on your vacation, it's going to be from $50 to $75 per night, and that will be applied to your room charge. And then, of course, the other cool thing is if you aren't planning to stay at one of those hotels, you could still bring your pet along, but there is going to be a pet boarding facility on Disney property named the Best Friends Doggy Daycare, and that starts at $30 per day and gets slightly cheaper the longer you book. And again, it's important for me to just know that these are the prices as of the time of the recording of this video, which is the fall of 2022. Okay, moving along, and we would just say this is not something that I would think is a surprise, but just merchandise spending. Now, in general, if you're wanting to bring merchandise home with you, you will definitely want to remember to budget for that. Now, Disney prices can be high, and that's even the case for those smaller souvenirs like toys or shirts, which will most likely cost around $30 per item. And then a lot of the most popular items, let's say such as those Disney Spirit jerseys or holiday exclusives, can be upwards of $80 per item. So just keep that in mind so you are prepared to bring some of those, magical merchandise home with you. Okay, and then so saving saving the best for last, saving really the most controversial for last when it comes to, unexpected expenses for your Disney vacation. And we have the Disney Genie Plus. Now, most Disney fans know by now that they retired the Disney FastPass system, which was free, and they now have the Disney Genie Plus, which is a paid to skip the line service, essentially. And very, very recently, as of the recording of this video in the fall of 2022, the price for this service has gone up. Since its debuted, it used to be $15 per person per day, but now it's actually more of a date-based rate, and it's going to range between $15 to $25 per person per day to use the Disney Lightning Lane. So again, we just want to make sure that you are familiar with this. We have a full blog on exactly how the Disney Genie works, exactly how the premium Disney Genie selections work. We'll link to it in the show notes. But again, the most important thing to know is that the old school FastPass system is no more, and that if you are looking to take advantage to skip some of the lines within the park, you do have to upgrade to the Disney Genie, and it is going to be an additional cost per person per day. That is the list, everyone. Those are some of the hidden costs when it comes to planning a Walt Disney World vacation. Those are some of the most common things that we just want you to be prepared for as you're coming down to Walt Disney World. I do hope that you found this video helpful. And like I said, if you are in the process of planning a Disney World vacation and you did find this video helpful, please be sure to subscribe to our channel, as we do have a lot more similar videos coming out in the upcoming weeks that will help you be as prepared as possible for your next Disney vacation. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I think that's all the time we have for today. Until next time, I will talk to you soon.